Okay, can you hear me? And you hear me now. So, I was really excited over a year and a half ago, when Cindy Rogers called and said, we're putting together a group to talk about eco-tours, because I was already doing that for the Tourist Bureau, and I was kind of flying by the seat of my pants. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, first of all, travel and tourism in Indiana County. So we have 67 counties in Pennsylvania, and each county has a designated tourist bureau. In Indiana County, the Indiana County Tourist Bureau is that designated promotional agency. So the number one travelers are seniors. They look for history, fun, souvenirs, and stories to relate to. We have grandparents and children trips that come into the area. Millennials love experiences. They don't care about the souvenirs. They want to be the actual experience. School groups that need education, conferences that come into IUP to KCAC, and they need recreational breaks and they move around to the area. Sporting events, big sporting events come here, whether it's IUP or the high schools. We have ISST coming, the big softball tournament that brings about 8,000 people coming in June. We just had a big wrestling tournament. Those people, they come here, they got to get out and do some things too, because you're not sitting on your seat the whole time. We have lots of outdoor recreation here, as you know. It's a beautiful county. And we also have religious groups, reunions, military, ethnic group travel that come here. So we have a lot of people that are coming into this county, believe it or not, and they're looking for things to do. And they're calling our office. So what do these groups see when they come? Well, first of all, there's a big geographical distance between everything in this county. Not a real big. Other counties have it worse. But if you want to go up to Smicksburg, that's a 25-minute drive. So there's some time in between distances that there's things for people to see. We have lots of bountiful natural resources, as Commissioner Reddick mentioned. We're very blessed for everything that we have in this county. And of course, the first thing everybody sees is our nuclear power plants. And that's the first question I get when I get on a bus group of people is, wow, what's that nuclear power plant there? And so, that opens the door for me to discuss what it really is and what our county has. And also with these groups coming in, especially the seniors group, which is the biggest group that comes in, with the age, you have an appreciation of the environment. And that's really rewarding to know. Because, we think that our kids are getting that in school, and that our seniors, they're just interested in going to the souvenir shop, but they're not. They're very interested in the environment. Viewable work of conversation. As we're driving around from site to site with these groups, they see actual things and point it out and say, what is that? And I can say, well, we go out to Kennersburg Bridge, well, that's Sonoma Wetlands, and then you explain what that is. Of course, outdoor recreation, we have lots of visitors that come here to go to Yellow Creek, to the great mountain biking trails. The softball tournaments that come, because we have tons of ball fields in this county. There's plenty of reasons for people to come here for outdoor recreation. So, here's the Tourist Bureau, here to provide that information to people. Our mission is to promote and market the members of the Tourist Bureau in this region and the region, because we share in the counties around us that have things that complement what we have here also. So my main job is to advertise outside of the region. I go to travel shows all over the country, and believe it or not, when I sit down at a table and I may have 55 appointments, 7-minute timed appointments all day long to try to sell Indiana County, when I sit down, they say, Indiana County Jimmy Stewart Museum. So as I always say, every stripper has to have their gimmick. Our gimmick is Jimmy Stewart. We get them here on Jimmy Stewart, and then they want to see what else we have. So you have lots of other things that you can show them as long as you get them here. And people come from all over the world for the Jimmy Stewart Museum, and it's amazing. If you stand up on the street some days, individuals will go up there to the Jimmy Stewart Museum from another country. I have bus groups that come in. A bus holds 55 people. They come in, and they know all about the museum too. And it's not just seniors. You know, we have lots of kids that are learning in their English classes, the Hitchcock movies that Jimmy made, and they know who he is too. So I also, besides attending these travel shows, I handle incoming tours. When a tour comes into Indiana County, I get on the bus and do step-on guide service, which means if we're doing tours here in town and we're going to Smicksburg or going to Blairsville or any other place in the county, I have time in there on the bus that I can talk about things. So one of our other big jobs at the Tourist Bureau is to promote events and activities within the county too. So we just don't need to bring people in from the outside of the county. We have people in this county here who, okay, I'm not gonna ask you to raise your hands, have never been to the Jimmy Stewart Museum. You know, there's lots to do in this county, and we like to try to promote that to get people moving and try something new. So here's some lovely tourism statistics. And I don't know if you know how big tourism, the industry is in this country, but people spend $947 billion in direct sales, 1.2 trillion indirect. Leisure alone of that 947 billion, they spend 650 billion on leisure. The other half is conferences and business travel. Taxes, that brings in 147 billion in taxes, 15 million jobs in the tourism industry. You know, we're the second largest industry in Pennsylvania. And there's our local and state statistics there. We have 1,452 jobs related to tourism. And this week I am doing, because National Tourism Week is in May, I started this week showing the faces of tourism on our Facebook page. And I'm putting people behind the scenes that bring money into the county. So it's not just that they're going to the Jimmy Stewart Museum, they're staying in a hotel, or eating in a restaurant, they're going to Sheets to get gas. You know, there's all these indirect sales that are coming to us. So there's the statistics if you're interested in that. So, you know, I asked the big question when I first started on the job was, what is this ecotourism? And I started going through all my stuff to try to find anything. And we were advertising eco-tours before we hooked up with Cindy. So here's the definition of ecotourism: environmentally responsible travel, enjoy and appreciate nature, cultural features, promote conservation, low visitor impact. So this was my first educational group tour. I just want to show you because that was my first advertising piece that I did, and I've now morphed into this lovely piece. This is what I take to trade shows to try to entice people to come to Indiana County. So in this section here, I do list a lot of the big attractions in the county, and one of them is eco-tours. And then on the back I have a lot of itineraries made up, because that's what people want when they call the office. Can you make me up an itinerary? And I have it. So when I first came into this, I listed a bunch of educational tours for, you know, seniors like education too, not just students. But you can see you can pick up the eco, even if you're going to the Blairsville Underground History Center, which is in Blairsville, and it's really cool if you've never been there. You know, that has a lot to do. The Freedom from Slavery Trail used the canals that went across the country, and there's remnants of canals around here. And you can go for a walk on one of the trails and see the canals. You know, it's all interconnected. There's so much to see and tell about our environment by even the historical things that we have in this county. So how did the Tourist Bureau become involved? Cindy called us up and said she was putting this group together to put eco-tours together, and I was so thrilled that she asked because I was already doing a quasi-marketing job. And our group has been meeting, I think, since January of 16, and we've been putting together a whole range. You know, we have the stormwater management group on our panel. We have oh yeah, county planning office. There's so many groups that have come into this, and we all contribute. Then we categorize them down into different areas so that we can further put these tours together. So we're getting close now. We have a great association with Northern Appalachian Folk Festival. We try to help bring in different things about this area through that organization. IUP organizations, you know, they have a sustainability minor now over at IUP. So there's so much with that partnership. The Stormwater Management Project, we now attend their meetings. Indiana County Parks and Trails, they're members of ours also, and we try to advertise all the wonderful things. Walkworks put together a geology walk this past month. So the marriage of many groups coming together to promote the same things is what we're all looking to do, and we're glad that as the promotional agency in the county we can do that. How is this relevant to travel groups? Well, educational groups, look at all the great things that you can get as an educational group. The history doesn't just include, the history of the Eliza furnace. That takes in the environment, like how that ruined our environment at what time and how we brought it all back. The Ghost Town Trail, twice it was a ghost town out in Vintondale, first for the iron industry and then the coal industry. The natural sciences, environmental stewardship, the schools teach core traits, respect. Respect is not just respect of people, but respect of your environment. Leadership, we have lots of groups in the schools that are promoting environmental. And then recreational travel, for those travelers that are coming in here for recreation. The look of our county, if it looks bad, they're not going to come here as you're driving through. I mean, I'm really proud that a lot of the places that we pass by, that I can, even if it looks a little bit shabby, once I tell them the history of why that area is like that, then they have an appreciation and they can relate to that. And then they can share their stories, and then that connects them more to this county, which makes them go back and want to tell their stories to people back home and say, you should go to Indiana County because blah, 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 they have this. So the visuals don't lie. We have strip mines around here, we have bony piles, but we can talk about how their communities and say, we can look like this, we can look like this downtown. The benefits of ecotourism, a motor coach that comes in for a night or two stay can bring $6,000 to the area. 55 people on a bus. You have your room, you have your meals. They go to gift shops. I plan an itinerary all day long, sometimes 2 days if they're staying overnight. Indirect tourism sales, again, those are the sales that aren't directly that we can put our finger on. Sustainable industry growth, that's helping to bring different sustainable industry into our area. Conference opportunities, we bring a lot of conferences, travelers that come here, even to IUP, to bring their kids, see what a great place this is, and then they go back and say, hey, we should have our math conference here at IUP. It also affects IUP's enrollment. Of course, people want a nice place for their kids to go to school. So you can see there's a lot of benefits, not just economically, but community growth-wise. People come here to have fun with their kids, their school opportunities, promoting nature. This knowledge gives everybody ownership and makes them proud and want them to continue the growth that this area is experiencing. So the next step for us is geocaching. That's a really big thing that families like to do to come here. We're working on putting that together. We're working on, of course, always working on in-county tours, coming from out of the area into the area to do eco tours, regional eco tours, working with the counties around us to do such. We want to increase our list of eco tours, which we're doing. Share within our community, bring awareness to IUP and share with them, and then our outdoor growth potential. So, building those eco tours with our partners, I introduce my partner, Jamie Douthit, from AmeriCorps.
You want your slides?
No.
Oh, Lord. I don't know, is this gonna work?
Yep.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Trying to keep my hair out of the way so you don't have to hear that too. I'm just gonna try and talk for only a few minutes here because I know we are short on time. Oh, I forgot my sheet. That's okay. So I'm the AmeriCorps volunteer with the Evergreen Conservancy right now. Thank you. And I'm just going to talk real briefly about the efforts that we have going on right now, working on an eco tour for Indiana County. So this is a 3-year project. It started in January of 2016, so we're about a year and a half in. And we've been working really closely with our partners. We have a lot of great partners in Indiana County to come up with a site list or a list of sustainable assets that we have in Indiana County. So I am happy to report that after about 1.5 years of gathering information through our own research, through word of mouth, through just driving around the county and seeing solar arrays and whatnot, we do have about 100 sustainable assets on our site list. And obviously that's a lot of sites, and it's a wide diversity of sites. So we have farms on there, we have abandoned mine drainage remediation sites on there, we have county parks on there. So while they all center around this idea of environmental importance, they're all also vastly different. So in order to keep them somewhat organized, we've divided our site list up into 5 overarching categories. We have saving and preserving land, saving and preserving water, wildlife habitat, sustainability, and healthy communities. And that helps us sort of keep them organized, and that also gives us a little bit of wiggle room in the future should we want to focus only on water. We have those already organized for ourselves. Or should we want to focus only on sustainability, we have those organized. So here is, oh, I think, is this the whole list? This is part of the whole thing. There's a lot on there. It's color coded for you. Obviously, some of our categories have more sites on there than others, but we've been working really hard to get these all together. So really what we're doing now is we're working on our next steps. Maria talked about geocaching. Just show of hands, how many of us know what geocaching is? Okay, how many of us think that I'm absolutely crazy and have no idea what I'm talking about? Geocaching is basically like a mini treasure hunt. So you can go online and get GPS coordinates, and then you put them into your phone or your handheld GPS, and you actually can go out into the woods and find little hidden treasure boxes, basically. So a lot of other counties have already implemented geotrails. Here's a picture of a passport for the Greater Johnstown-Cambria County Geotrail. Basically, it's a series of geocaches that center around a specific theme. So we're right now working on a 20 geocache geotrail as sort of a sampler platter for all of the sites that we have. So we've got a few from each of those categories on our list. What happens is you get a little booklet, just like this passport, that has a list of all of the geocaches, and then in each geocache, you put them at the site you want them to be at, you put a little blurb inside about why it's important, and then you add a code word or a stamp or a sticker that people can fill in their passport, and then when they've gone ahead and filled in their whole passport, they can take it to the tourist bureau and exchange it for a geocoin. So here's a picture of the Johnstown geocoin. It's a little collector's item, they're kind of fun, but we also make them trackable. So what that means is it's got a little code on it, and you can put it in the next geocache you find, and then if other geocachers come and they take your coin, they can move it across the country and even across the world, and you can go online, people will log that for you, and you can watch where it's gone. So it's kind of an exciting thing. It's fun, it's very easy, it's something that people can go ahead and do themselves, and it's a great way to get people out and get them excited about what we have in Indiana County. So lastly here is just a map. This is our first draft, so nobody get too technical on me. But this is the first draft of our geotrail map. So you can see that our sites are spread all throughout Indiana County, and we've actually added a few to them. So we're pretty excited about it. Eventually, we do have another whole 1.5 years left in this project. We really do hope to have physical bus tours, so like Maria does, we can take them out and actually drive them around the county and show them these wonderful things that we have happening. And we'd also like to have a comprehensive map so that people can go out and look at these sites themselves. So you're up in Smicksburg, you're checking out the Amish, but you want to see a solar array. Well, you can do that. We'll have a map for you, and you'll be able to look at it. And this really all evolved out of a need and a want to build stewardship in Indiana County, because there are so many great things that are already happening in our county that we really want people to be aware of. So we're working towards that. We're really excited about it. And that's all I have. I hope we didn't run too long.